Today we are gonna start a new anime series called Soul Land. We hope that you enjoy the video. Let's begin. The first episode opens with the scenes of a young boy named Tang San, who is being chased by some elderly people of his town. The scene suggests that he must have done something to provoke them. As the tribesmen chase the young Tang San, we get to see their beautiful village above the mountains, known as Tangman. Through everyone's dragon-imprinted robes, we find out that Tang and his offended elders had belonged to a sect which was very traditional. Getting back to the chasing part, we see troubled Tang San, who dodges his elders in such an effortless way that it offends them. Seeing the young boy being more powerful and stronger than them, their pride is hurt. Soon, there comes a dead end and the boy surrenders. There we get to know that the boy had learned some secret skills from the library earlier, which was considered forbidden by the sect. With extreme aggression and hatred, the old tribesmen give Tang San a death penalty for entering the secret library and learning forbidden skills. Being a young man of rules, Tang San decides to jump off the dead end rather commits suicide than dying by the hands of old men. But before, the poor assures his elders that he has not passed on the techniques to anyone else. Subsequently, Tang pulls out the deadliest weapons from his newly learned techniques, out of thin air and aims for the leader's head. Making sure that he dies, Tang San begins undressing himself because he does not want to commit suicide while wearing or possessing anything from the sect. With his slick high ponytail waving in the air, Tang San jumps off the cliff. One of the elders tries to save him by going after Tang San and lending him a hand, but fails. Tang San's soul goes through multiple alternate worlds, as he dies. Finally, Tang San's soul reaches a parallel universe where he is reborn as an infant. It is just like pushing a restart button where you have to start things from the beginning. The parallel universe specifically belonged to the spirits of martial arts. The minute Tang San gains consciousness, he remembers everything from his previous life. The forbidden techniques that he learned from the library were still fresh in his mind. Hence, he starts meditating and begins practicing his techniques alone on a peaceful mountain where no one other than the young Tang San is seen. Soon we get to know that the parallel universe was a Douluo mainland where everyone unlocks a special ability at the age of 6. That ability is known as Spirit Soul. People get to learn different skills by gaining Spirit Soul. Later in the episode, it is shown that a 26 ranked a very dashing and young soul master, Su Yu Dao, has entered Tang San's village, who will be teaching young kids to awaken and sharpen their spirit abilities. The episode ends with the scenes with the Spirit Master, who has entered the village to attain his purpose and to help children awaken their powers. In the Douluo mainland, people were cultivated in ranks starting from 1 to 100. Rank holders from 1 to 10 were considered trainees. 10 to 20 rank holders were considered Spirit Masters, 21 to 30 were considered as the Spirit Grand Masters, 31 to 40 were considered as the Spirit Elders, and that's how the rankings worked in the land. In the second episode we get to see the scenes when the dashing Spirit Master makes his heroic appearance. Soul Master gathers children of the village to check their abilities and powers. Su Yu Dao, who is specifically in search of soul power, greets the children and continues telling them that he has been to 6 villages. Never has he ever seen someone with a fully attained soul power. Finding someone with full soul powers was his sole purpose to visit Tang's village. He specifies that only the clan's successors can become soul masters. Spirit Master shows off his powers in front of the children by opening a door of a random and abandoned hall. He takes the children, including Tang San, inside the abandoned hall and leaves an old chief of the village, whom Tang calls Grandpa, outside the doors. But before he helps children awaken their powers, he shows them his full power, which was of a barbarous werewolf. The giant and purple glowing wolf frightens the village's children. He casts a spell and creates a yellow glowing circle and asks the children to step inside the circle one by one and bring out their powers. The first child, who comes forward, appears to have the soul of a sickle. Soul Master explains that the people with sickle soul power can be really good farmers and play an essential role in agriculture. Unfortunately, the sickle power restrains people from becoming a good warrior and an efficient fighter. Spirit Master begins checking his soul power because it was the utmost task which had to be done before training and awakening the rookie children. Upon checking the first children's soul power, he finds out that his soul power was 0. Soul Master announces that children with 0 soul power are not allowed to train and shall spend the rest of their lives like normal beings. Soul Master keeps checking the abilities where he mostly finds powers related to farming and agriculture. He finds a girl with blue-silver grass spirit and considers it to be the most ideal power, which is also useless. In the end, Tang San, the main character, enters the circle. He moves forward his right hand and reveals his power, which was of a blue-silver grass. But at the same time, his left hand trembles and shows a glowing hammer. For some reason, Tang San closes his hand. This suggests that he did not want to reveal his other power. Spirit Master declares everyone unworthy of training and sends the children back. But he asks Tang to stay. He checks his soul power, which turns out to be a level 10. A level 10 power was a very rare thing, upon which the Soul Master was shocked. Since level 10 was considered a full power, Soul Master is appealed to see Tang showing full powers on his very first soul power checking process. Soul Master figures out that Tang was born with full powers, and due to which he was ranked with innate soul power. People who are born with full powers are indeed very useful and have a very successful future ahead. Tang, on the other hand, appears to be confused as he knows very little about his powers. He asks the Soul Master if he could train ahead. Soul Master tells Tang that level 10 powers in the beginning make you the innate soul and you must train to level up. He also tells Tang that people, after every 10 levels, are bound to attain a soul ring which helps them level up. Without the soul ring, no one can reach the 11th level. Since Soul Master was a level 26, he had attained 2 soul rings, each after crossing 10 levels. Soul rings not only enhance powers, but also unlock a new ability in them. With that being discussed, Soul Master and Tang come out of the abandoned place. Soul Master leaves Tang with the chief of the village. Chief takes Tang San to his home, where he scolds his careless father for not being there for Tang on his awakening day. Chief tells his father, Tang Hao, about Tang San's innate soul power and calls Tang San a genius. His ignorant father yawns and asks what his powers are. As Tang begins explaining that he is a blue-silver grass, Tang Hao finds it disgraceful. Grandpa Jack decides to give the only trainee position to Tang, and sends him to beginner Soul Master School in Noding City. In fact, Grandpa Jack insists on paying all the expenses of the trip. But Tang Hao says no and disapproves of it. Episode 3 begins with the scenes of Grandpa, who is furious at Tang's father for not letting his boy go to another town for his training session. Besides, by taking this opportunity, Tang San can become a great Soul Master in the future and can be very successful. Tang Hao still disagrees and states vague excuses to hold Tang San back, so he stays and cooks for him in the house. Grandpa gets angry and desperate at the same time because he hadn't seen a Soul Master in a long time. Grandpa tells Tang's father that he sees a Soul Master in Tang and wants him to train, no matter what happens. Thinking that Grandpa is putting effort for a selfish reason, Hao doesn't change his mind. When Grandpa shouts further, Tang Hao dismisses him. Just when Grandpa Jack is out of words and in a pathetic state of mind, Tang San comes forward and tells him that his father wasn't wrong. Since blue-silver grass is not a good martial soul, he should not fight his father to let him go to the academy for his training sessions. On his way home, Grandpa says that Tang Hao may disapprove of it, but Tang San is young and has the ability to be a soul master. Grandpa asks Tang to come to meet him in case Tang Hao changes his mind, since they had a 3-month period till registration. Tang San sees off Grandpa and comes back inside. Tang Hao asks Tang San if he wants to be a soul master, which Tang San hesitantly replies that he is fine being a blacksmith. He then reminds his father of the promise he had once made to teach him how to make farm tools. Instead, he asks Tang to show his martial soul. He shows him the blue-silver grass, upon which Tang Hao gets angry and decides to leave, but Tang shows him the other soul, which is a hammer. With that, we get to see a flashback, where we see Tang Hao's wife Lin, who was a blue-silver grass too. She sacrificed herself to save Tang Hao and Tang San from attackers. After seeing hammer as Tang's martial soul, Tang Hao says that it is the twin martial soul and he hugs his child. He teaches Tang how to protect the silver grass with the hammer, forever. He also tells Tang that twin martial souls appear once in a blue moon and are extremely valuable. Tang Hao begins teaching blacksmithing and hammering skills to his son. Tang San also works to make the Tang clan's hidden weapon from his past life, which he has almost perfected, but he lacks some supplies. After spending some time with Tang and seeing his potential, Tang Hao tells his son to pack his stuff and leave for the Noding City tomorrow morning, as Grandpa Jack will be accompanying him. Tang Hao finally gives his permission and blessing to Tang San. He advises him to use his hammering technique and be an apprentice in a blacksmithing shop in Noding City to pay for his school and expenses. He also asks Tang San to never let anyone know of his twin martial souls and forbids him to use his hammer unless it's a life and death matter. The next morning Grandpa Jack takes Tang San to Noting City. The episode ends with Grandpa and Tang finally arriving at the Noting City, which appears to be very advanced and well developed. To watch what happens next, stay tuned and subscribe to our channel to get our next videos. Stay safe and keep watching.